The final episode of Marshals Season 1 is shaping up to be the most explosive and emotional episode the series has delivered so far. Episode 12 feels less like a normal finale, and more like the complete collapse of everything these characters have spent the entire season trying to protect. The trailer makes it clear that the danger is no longer coming from criminals, outside enemies, or hidden threats lurking in the shadows. This time the danger is coming from inside the team itself. Trust is disappearing, emotions are spiraling out of control, and every single character looks like they are standing one step away from making a decision that could change their lives forever. What makes this finale feel so intense is that nobody seems emotionally prepared for what is coming next, especially Casey. After the shocking ending of episode 11, Casey is carrying the weight of a choice that can never be undone. Killing Neil may have protected the Dutton family secrets for now, but it also destroyed the moral line Casey once believed he would never cross. The trailer shows a version of Casey that feels completely different from the calm and controlled man we watched earlier in the season. He looks exhausted, isolated, and emotionally broken in a way we have never seen before. For years Casey convinced himself that every difficult thing he did was for the right reason, but now the consequences of those choices are starting to close in around him. The most painful part is that Calvin witnessed everything, and the damage between them may already be impossible to repair. The partnership between Casey and Calvin has always been one of the strongest emotional foundations of the show. They trusted each other in situations where nobody else could understand what they were facing. They survived dangerous missions together, protected each other countless times, and built a bond that felt unbreakable. But episode 12 is showing us what happens when that trust finally shatters. Calvin is no longer looking at Casey like a brother or partner. He's looking at him like a man who crossed a line that should never have been crossed. The trailer hints that Calvin is preparing to make his own move, and whatever he decides to do could split the team apart completely. At the same time, tragedy strikes the Marshals team in a way nobody expected. The loss teased in the trailer feels massive not just because of who it affects, but because of what it does to the emotional state of every character afterward. Grief changes people, especially people who were already carrying anger, guilt, and emotional pressure before the loss even happened. Instead of bringing the team together, the tragedy seems to push everyone further into conflict. Some characters want justice, others want revenge, and Casey appears to respond by becoming even more reckless than before. That's what makes the finale feel so dangerous. Nobody is thinking clearly anymore, and every decision being made is driven by emotion instead of logic. The rogue mission Casey launches looks like the biggest turning point of the entire season. This is no longer a marshal operating within the system. Casey has completely stopped caring about rules, approval, or consequences. He believes the only way to fix the situation is by handling it himself, no matter how far he has to go. The terrifying part is that Casey is skilled enough to actually pull it off. When someone with his experience and emotional instability decides to stop following the law, everyone around him becomes vulnerable. The trailer suggests that this mission is not just about protecting secrets anymore. Feels personal now. Casey is no longer operating defensively. He's hunting something, chasing something, and grief has transformed him into someone far more dangerous than before. One of the most emotional parts of episode May 12th come from Dolly's storyline. Over the last few episodes, her connection with Casey has quietly grown stronger, especially during moments where Casey allowed himself to be vulnerable around her. But now Casey is falling deeper into darkness, and Dolly is caught in the middle of it. She genuinely cares about him, but caring about someone does not mean supporting every choice they make. The trailer hints that Dolly will eventually have to decide whether her loyalty belongs to Casey or to her own sense of right and wrong. That emotional conflict could become one of the defining moments of the finale, because Casey desperately needs someone to pull him back before he goes too far. But Dolly may realize she can no longer defend the man he's becoming. Meanwhile, Belle and Andrea are moving through a completely different emotional journey. Instead of falling apart, they seem stronger and more focused than ever. Belle especially looks transformed after learning the truth about her family and her father. Rather than letting that pain destroy her, she has turned it into motivation. She finally understands why she became a marshal, and that clarity is making her more determined and fearless than ever before. Andrea has also changed dramatically since the beginning of the season. Earlier episodes showed her struggling to find confidence and purpose within the team, But now she looks steady, capable, and fully prepared for whatever danger is coming next. The partnership between Belle and Andrea feels important because it creates a contrast to everything happening with Casey and Calvin. While Casey's side of the story is collapsing under secrecy and mistrust, Belle and Andrea's partnership is growing stronger through honesty and shared purpose. But the trailer also hints that their mission is leading directly toward danger, and eventually their path may collide with Casey's rogue operation in a way that changes everything. What makes this finale feel so powerful is that there are no simple heroes or villains anymore. Every character is carrying emotional scars, guilt, fear, or anger into episode 12. Everyone believes they are doing the right thing, even while making choices that could destroy the people around them. The emotional tension feels heavier than the action itself because the real threat isn't just physical danger anymore. The real threat is watching these characters lose themselves piece by piece under the pressure of everything they've been carrying. And then there's the biggest mystery of all. One major character is completely missing from the trailer, and in a show like Marshals, that kind of absence is never accidental. It creates the terrifying possibility that the finale is hiding one final devastating twist. Whether it's a betrayal, a death, or a shocking reveal, something huge is clearly being kept secret from the audience. By the end of episode 12, it feels very possible that the Marshals team we started the season with will no longer exist in the same form. Some relationships may never recover, some characters may not survive, and Casey himself may cross a line that changes him forever. This finale doesn't feel like the end of one story. It feels like the beginning of something far darker and far more dangerous for everyone involved.